Tony Daunt is on our AT&T line, the executive director of the Michigan Freedom Fund. How are you faring, sir?
Well, hanging in there like everybody else. It's, you hit a wall here and there every couple days and kind of get bored with being cooped up inside. But, a lot of us we're blessed. I'm employed and healthy and safe, and so always looking on the bright side.
I got a song to play for you later concerning the bright side. In fact, we'll close this segment with it. If the orchestra will start warming that up. And speaking of the orchestra warming up, yesterday the Senate met briefly, the House met briefly, but Senator Mike Shirkey opened up his Senate session like this.
This morning's invocation will be given today by the Honorable Senate Majority Leader Mike Shirkey from the 16th District.
Let us pray. When peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever my lot, thou hast taught me to say, it is well with my soul.
How about that, Tony Daunt?
I think he has a future on The Masked Singer after he's done the Senate Majority Leader.
He might be. He's definitely talking about our future because he has now announced a bipartisan work group that's going to look at how we can get back to work safely and quickly. And he said that we can walk and chew gum at the same time, and that a lot of the workplaces, if we challenge ourselves, can be as safe as home. Any reaction?
Yeah, from the start with his prayer there to the work that both he and Speaker Chatfield have been doing over the last several weeks, I respect their positive outlook, and I think it was right and wise of them to meet yesterday. I'm glad that they did. They've been very deferential and respectful to the governor throughout this process, and in providing, the necessary leeway for her to make a lot of these decisions as the crisis unfolded. And, I think they are very correct to focus on, okay, we seem to have stemmed the worst of this, at least, for now. And so let's start focusing on what is safe to do to restart, because we can't be holed up indefinitely, because I think, number one, it's terrible for people, for their health, their mental health. It's terrible for economic health and all the things that come with that. And I think it's right to have some optimism for moving forward. And I appreciate what they've done, and I look forward to seeing what they've got on deck to make that happen.
Essentially, this is what happened yesterday at the legislature. The governor wanted a 70-day extension, and they settled on a shorter one than that.
Yeah, absolutely. And we at the Freedom Fund, and myself personally, have really, we like to mix it up politically, but we understand that this is a unique situation and that the governor was faced with some very tough decisions and had to make decisions quickly. And I think, that was worthwhile, and that's what everybody should have been doing. But I think when she kicked it off and said, I want a 70-day extension for the state of emergency, I think that was reckless, and I think it basically signaled to the legislature and people in the state that she wanted to just continue acting unilaterally and without a check from the legislature, and I don't think that's appropriate. And so I think it was appropriate for them. They have a constitutional duty to fulfill. So they did. They came in. They extended it for another 23 days to April 30th, which matches up with the current CDC, the guidelines for social distancing and such. And we'll revisit it when we hit that date. And I think, again, that's appropriate. And they need to be part of the discussion of decisions moving forward. And how do we start to, at least slowly unshackle from the situation we're in.
Tony Daunt says, always look on the bright side of life. He's the executive director of the Michigan Freedom Fund. You can Google that up and subscribe to his Front Lines of Freedom publication that comes out every single week. And who says radio stations don't play requests anymore? You're the one who said it, Tony Daunt, so we'll give it to you right now. Look on the bright side of life.
Don't be silly chumps. Just purse your lips and whistle. That's the thing. And always look on the bright side of life.